Heaven's Journey to Life. Is any choice ever free? Day 45. In this post, we're continuing with having a look at choice and how we, in fact, do not have choice and do not make choices within ourselves, within how we have, when, in the beginning, making that deal with the devil as the decision to reverse life and live as consuming substance to transform into energy and evil, offering our souls. Energy authority became the authority that regulates and controls all our choices within the context of and from the original choice of the deal with the devil, the offering of our souls that manifested us into an existence of consuming substance for energy, within the relationship of cause and acceptance and effect and allowance as consequence and consequence outflow, and damned ourselves within our very nature and action to blame as spite, excuse, and justification, to protect and defend our survival and possession of temptation and empowerment as energy, to be gods unto ourselves only. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, in the beginning, with making the one choice of who, how, and what I am with the deal with the devil, the offering of my soul, that all my choices from that moment will stand equal to and one with who, how, and what I am as the one choice I manifested and made as me within my who, how, and what I am. That all my choices from and of that one choice will stand within and as the starting point of defending and protecting my survival and possession as temptation and empowerment of and as energy, through and as a relationship of cause and acceptance and effect and allowance of consequence and consequence outflow, within and as the nature and action of me as blame, within and as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and physicality in life, excusing life authority for energy, devil, mind, and money authority to exist, as consuming substance and physicality in life to transform into energy and money, justified as defying life and physicality and deifying energy, mind, and money, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival and rewarding and empowerment and saturation of me as energy, mind, and money authority. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that the one choice has become who, how, and what I am, and thus all choices I make will reflect and stand within and as the starting point manifestation of me as the one choice I had made in the beginning of who, how, and what I am. In this, I forgive that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that with all my choices, reflecting and standing within and as the starting point of and as the one choice I made in the beginning as who, how, and what I am, that I am not in fact making choices, because they all stand equal to and one with the one choice I had made in the beginning, and thus all choices is in fact validating the one choice I had made in the beginning as protecting and defending my survival and possession as temptation and empowerment of energy for me to be a god unto myself only. That all my choices will be done and made within and as the who, how, and what I am as energy authority, as defending and protecting my survival and possession as temptation and empowerment of and as energy through and as a relationship of cause and acceptance and effect and allowance as consequence and consequence outflow, within and as the nature and action of me as blame, within and as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and physicality in life. Excusing life authority for energy, devil, mind, money, and authority to exist, as consuming substance and physicality and life to transform into energy and money, justified as defying life and physicality and deifying energy, mind, and money, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival, rewarding, empowerment, and saturation of me as energy, mind, and money authority. I forgive myself that I, as energy and mind authority, haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that my relationship to choice, that I have free choice, that I own choice, that I can make choices, is me as energy and mind authority, in fact, validating my who, how, and what I am as energy and mind authority. Because every moment I have the opportunity to make a choice, and every moment I apparently do make a choice, I am in fact giving me the power to empower me with my energy temptation, and so protect and defend my existence as energy authority, through and as giving me the freedom to continue defending and protecting my survival and possession as temptation and empowerment of and as energy, through and as a relationship of cause and acceptance and effect and allowance as consequence and consequence outflow, within and as the nature and action of me as blame, within and as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance, physicality, and life, excusing life authority for energy, devil, mind authority, money authority to exist, as consuming substance, physicality, life to transform into energy and money, justified as defying life and physicality and deifying energy and money, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival, rewarding, and empowerment and saturation of me as energy, mind, and money authority, where I know that as long as I have choice is the way, means, and method I use to, in and as every choice, establish my authority as energy over and of life and physicality, and as physical existence as me, because every choice will be made to only serve me as energy and mind authority, in consuming substance and physicality to transform into energy and empower and saturate only my temptation as energy. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that throughout existence, with the relationship of me to myself, within myself, to others, and to existence as a whole, I have never made any new choices, alternative choices to who, how, and what I am. But what I would do is internalize myself, others, and this physical existence into myself through reflection and stand within the choice of who, how, and what I am, within the starting point of and as energy authority, as protecting and defending my survival and possession of temptation and empowerment of and as energy for only me to be a God unto myself only. And so all choices I made was only from and of that one choice I made of who, how, and what I am, and that I thus did not in fact make any choices from the beginning, as all choices were made within and as and by energy authority to protect and defend only its survival and possession as temptation and empowerment of energy. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that the empowering energy experience that manifests within my mind, in my physical body when making a choice, is in fact the empowerment of and as energy and mind authority in that moment. As within that moment of choice, I am validating and manifesting and establishing me as energy and mind authority within confirming my who, how, and what I am as energy and mind authority, as that choice is and always will be made within and as the starting point of and as the one choice I had made in the beginning of my existence of and as my who, how, and what I am as energy authority, deifying itself through and as the friction and conflict as consuming substance to transform into energy, to own its possession and empowerment of and as energy at the cost and expense of defying life and substance for it to continue existing and surviving. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, from the beginning, I have always in all ways only made choices within and as the one choice of and as who, how, and what I am as energy authority, and that every moment I make a choice of protecting and defending my survival as possession and empowerment of and as my temptation of and as energy, I am deifying me as energy and defying life within, as and through the relationship of cause and acceptance and effect and allowance, as consequence and consequence outflow, within and as the nature and action of me as blame, within and as spite, excuse, and justification, as a deliberate manipulation, abuse, and misuse of substance and physicality in life, excusing life authority for energy, devil, mind, and money authority to exist, as consuming substance and physicality in life to transform into energy and money, justified as defying life and physicality and deifying energy, mind, and money, through and as deliberate friction and conflict, spite, for the survival, rewarding, empowerment, saturation of me as energy, mind, and money authority. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that the one choice in the beginning of my who, how, and what I am was done in fear and fear of loss. That signed the deal with the devil, the offering of my soul, and so damned me into and as an eternal existence of and as that one choice, in and as fear and fear of loss, where from that moment all my choices will stand within and as that one choice of and as who, how, and what I am, and so will from that moment never be free to make a choice of who, how, and what I am in as life, of and as equality and oneness, as I had enslaved me as energy authority in and as fear and fear of loss, to and as the one choice of and as who, how, and what I am as energy authority, that will only exist and make choices to protect and defend my survival as possession and empowerment of energy at the cost, expense, and consequence to life. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how every choice I make is manifested within and as fear and fear of loss, and done through and as the nature and action of me as blame within and as spite, excuse, and justification, to protect and defend the survival as possession and empowerment of my temptation as energy and God authority unto me, myself, and I only. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand the nature of and as free choice within and as the existence of me as energy and mind authority in its relationship to life and physicality, where I as energy and mind authority am free within myself to continue existing within and as my enslavement as energy and mind to life and physicality, in having the internal freedom of continuing my accepted and allowed existence of enslavement within and as fear and fear of loss, to protect and defend my survival as possession and empowerment of temptation as energy within and as my nature and action of and as blame as spite, excuse, and justification, to continue my finite existence as energy and mind for as long as I can sustain my existence from and of life and physicality until I've consumed it in myself to nothingness. In the next post, we'll continue walking that point of choice and the consequence of energy authority as choice in our current accepted and allowed relationship to and manifestation as choice, and how this relationship and manifestation of ourselves as choice manifested the consequences we now exist as the mind relationship to the physical and the world system of money relationship to this physical existence, and how and why no one and nothing will change as long as we believe we have choice, as long as we continue accepting and allowing the existence of energy and mind and money authority as ourselves, within and without. I see, realize, and understand that as long as I accept and allow myself to exist as this mind and energy authority, that all my choices will stand within the context and starting point of only protecting and defending my survival as possession and empowerment of temptation as energy, and that I am enslaving myself, and so all as myself, within the very concept of free choice as giving the mind and energy authority over and of life and physicality, of and as equality and oneness, and giving it the freedom to continue its own enslavement to survival. I commit myself to, through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, assist and support me to align me as the mind and energy into an as equal and one physical living, as the practical application process of aligning me from the one choice of and as energy authority to and as the decision of and as life authority in and as equality and oneness, so that I will eventually stand where every decision I make will stand within and as the principle of life, as what is and will be best for all, in and as equality and oneness, and so stop me from only existing in choice enslavement of survival to serve only my interest of energy, empowerment, and possession, and life as a decision for and as and of life. I commit myself to show how giving up choice as free choice, as the process of stopping consciousness and mind and energy authority, and becoming an equal and one living being as living words in and as and with the human physical body, and eventually this physical existence in and as standing as a decision for and as life, is the process of giving up one's enslavement as consciousness, mind, and energy, is the process of giving up one's enslavement to fear and fear of loss, is the process of giving up the one choice that has eternally damned and enslaved self and all as self within and as existence, and is thus, in this, the process of gifting self and eventually all freedom within the context of, in fact, living in absolute equality and oneness with self as all, and in fact manifest heaven on earth as ourselves. I commit myself to show how everything is in reverse, that the experience of freedom within choice is how choice currently exists within our who, how, and what we are as energy, consciousness, and mind authority, is in fact the enslavement of ourselves as energy and consciousness and mind, in and as fear and fear of loss, as survival, that is manifesting the consequence of our physical body and this physical existence, and that the process to freedom, to living, to life, from the enslavement of survival and possession, is assisting and supporting self through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application to live, walk, and become the decision for and as life, of and as equality and oneness, where every decision made, lived, and expressed will always stand and be done within and as the principle of and as what is and will be best for all, And so the process of giving up choice and free choice as stopping mind and consciousness and energy and living in and as equality and oneness with one's physical body and this physical existence is the process of walking out of hell and consequence, internally and externally, into and as heaven on earth and living. I commit myself to, as I walk my process from choice and free choice, as the mind consciousness as energy authority, into and as a decision for and as life of and as equality and oneness, in being and becoming the living word through and as writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, to realign the world system of money that is currently accepting and allowing the prevalence and promulgation of choice and free choice within the context of survival and possession at the cost and expense of the physical body and this physical existence, to a world system of money as the equal money system that stand within and as a decision of and as life, as what is and will be best for all, so that each and all within this physical existence has an equal and one opportunity to life and living.